So we'll see one of the example of reciprocity theorem. First we'll see that and then we'll move on to Millman's. So what was the reciprocity theorem? What was the statement? Whenever the excitation and response are interchanged, okay, whenever the excitation and response are interchanged, the ratio V by I remains constant. Excitation can be a voltage source or a current source, and its response can also be a voltage or a current. So they have given a network here. Find Vx for the circuit shown and verify reciprocity theorem. Okay, Vx is shown here. Vx we have to find out and we have to verify the reciprocity theorem. So this is Vx. We have to find out Vx and find. And here the excitation is 5 amps and 5 amps is here. Okay, 5 amps is in this circuit. It is shown here. So Vx is here. We have to find out first Vx. So how to find out the Vx here? As usual, Vx is nothing but the voltage across 10 ohm resistor. Okay, Vx is the voltage across 10 ohm resistor. So to know the voltage, what we should know? What we know the formula? V is equal to I into R. Okay, V is equal to I into R. So what we know R. R is 10 kilo ohm. So and we have to find out I. So that means I1. To find out this to find out I1, we take it we go with the mesh analysis. There are three loops here, I1, I2 and I3. So we'll go with the mesh analysis. As I found out I1, so I1 into 10. So whatever the current I get I1 into 10 will give me the voltage Vx. That is one way of doing it. So first what we'll go with the mesh analysis. There are three loops. So three currents are assumed in clockwise direction. And one more thing, in mesh analysis, you have to check whether at the border there are any current sources. So we have a current source of 5 amps. Fine, we have a current source of 5 amps here. In this 5 amps current we have. So this 5 amps. So what will be the current in I3 or in the loop I3? I3 is nothing but the 5 amps. Is it plus 5 amps or minus 5 amps? Since I3 is going against 5 amps, so it is minus. So I3 is equal to minus 5 amps. So we got one current already. We are left out with now two loops and two unknowns, that is I1 and I2. So write the loop equations. So in what we do in mesh analysis, we just write the KVL, that is we write voltage in terms of current and resistance. So first it is 10 into I1 plus 2 into, in this resistor we have two currents, so it is I1 minus I3 plus 5 into I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. So separate all the I1, I2 and I3 terms. Since we know what is I3, substitute I3 is equal to minus 5 and we'll get two equations for I1 and I2. Two equations, make a determinant of it and find out the unknowns I1 and I2. So the equations are written for both the loop 1 and loop 2. Loop 2 is how much? 5 into I2 minus I1 plus 4 into I2 minus I3 plus 8 into I2. So whichever loop equation you write first, that current should be written first. Okay, when you write for loop 1, I1 should be written first, and when you write for loop 2, you have to write I2 first and substitute the value for I3 and you will get I1 and I2 in the two unknowns in the equations. Put them in the determinant form and find out I1 and I2. So which current is required for us? We require I1 because we want voltage Vx. We get the voltage Vx when we get I1 and when it is multiplied with 10 ohm. So I1 is minus 1.02. Minus indicates that the current is in the counterclockwise direction. So Vx is equal to 10 into I1. So Vx will get in terms of minus 10.2 volts. So this is the voltage Vx. So what is the ratio now? V is minus 10.2 divided by current I. I, how much they have given? 5 amps. So you'll get minus 2.04. That is the ratio, V by I ratio. That is ratio of excitation to response or response to excitation. Next what we have to do, we have to interchange. We have to interchange the position of current and voltage. So current was in this direction, okay, 5 amps. It was in the left direction, so it is brought down here. The current source is kept here and the voltage is brought here, okay, plus and minus. You have to know how to interchange it. Find this current source. Okay, this current source is it is brought in this direction, and this voltage source will go in this direction. So the plus will come here. Okay, the plus will come here, and the current source direction will be downwards. That is important. Okay, so same that is written here. The current source is put here now, and this is the voltage. Now we have to find what is the voltage here. How to find out what is the voltage here? Voltage Vx is nothing but the voltage drop across 2 ohm and the voltage drop across 4 ohm put together. So how to know what is the voltage drop? Just we have to know what is the current. If we know what is I2 and I3, so I2 into 2 plus I3 into 4 will give me the voltage Vx. So to find out I2 and I3, take three measures, same I1, I2 and I3. Okay, and just put the mesh analysis and see here at the border we have 5 amps and this is going against. So I1 is equal to minus 5 amps. That one current we got. Next write the loop equations for this and find out I2 and I3. So you'll get I2 and I3 here. So Vx is equal to 2 into I2 plus 4 into I3. Okay, this is the voltage Vx. So voltage Vx is minus 10.18 and the ratio V by I just will get it as minus 2.03. So the ratio of excitation to response when both are interchanged, the ratio is same, hence the theorem is verified. So this is one of the different example of doing this reciprocity theorem. So you have to remember how you interchange the excitation and response, that you have to remember correctly. So next this is one example. Next we'll go for this same problem. You can go with node analysis also. You can take how many nodes are there. We can consider it as V1, V2, V3, 3 nodes. So whatever V1 we get, no, whatever the answer V1 we get, that will be Vx. V1 will be Vx. Okay, that you can find out. Then you can just interchange the position and we can find out here also same V1, V2, V3. So the difference between V1 and V3 will give the voltage Vx. The same problem you can solve with node analysis. You can take it as an assignment. I have just written only shown node and written one node equation. So next we'll move on with the Millman's theorem. Millman's theorem is the very easy one here. What it states is statement several voltage sources E1, E2, E3. Okay, many voltage sources till En with their internal impedances Z1, Z2, Z3. So there are many voltages E1, E2, E3 with their internal impedances Z1, Z2, Z3 are connected in parallel. This is important. How they are connected? They are connected in parallel. May be replaced by a. Okay. When see voltage sources in parallel will not help us. So we'll be converting them to current source. So for that they have come out with this formula. If they are connected in parallel, it may be replaced by a single voltage source. Okay. We can replace this by a single voltage source E with internal impedance Z where, okay, they have given the formula how to replace it. So the capital E or the one single voltage source E is given by the formula E1 by Z1 plus E2 by Z2. Like that, how many voltage sources are there? Till there it will go. If you have two voltage sources, you have to write E1 by Z1 plus E2 by Z2. If you have three, it will go. Like that, they have written for En by Zn whole divided by 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3 to 1 by Zn. So this is the formula that will be used for Millman's theorem. Here what they have done, 1 by Z1 is nothing but the impedance. It is replaced by admittance. So instead of 1 by Z1, what they wrote? Y1. So you can write E1 Y1 plus E2 Y2 plus E3 Y3. Like that it goes on to En Yn divided by 1 by Z1 is nothing but Y1 plus Y2 plus Y3. So all them all put together in summation will get summation EY divided by summation Y. So Y is nothing but admittance. Okay. If they give impedance, they are taking here admittance. That is the formula summation EY divided by summation Y. Okay. And 1 by Z is what? It is 1 by Z1 plus 1 by all that put together will get 1 by Z. Or if you write in terms of admittance, it is nothing but Y1 plus Y2 plus Y3. So this is the statement and the formula for Millman's theorem. So how to prove it? To prove that, what they will do, they will consider only 3 voltage sources. Consider the circuit where only 3 voltage sources are given, E1, E2 and E3, along with their internal impedances Z1, Z2 and Z3. Okay, all these voltage sources are connected in parallel. That is important. See, voltage sources connected in parallel with their internal impedances. And we have a load ZL. Okay, the voltage sources are converted into current sources and the circuit is rewritten. So what we know that in source transformation, voltage sources in parallel will not help us. So we have to transform them. All the voltage sources should be transformed to current sources. So current sources in parallel can be added and voltage sources in series can be added. So convert these voltage sources to current sources. So it becomes current source with parallel resistance, that is I1 Z1. E2 and Z2 becomes I2 Z2. Okay, they should be in parallel, that is important. E3 becomes I3 Z3 with load ZL. And observe the direction also, current source direction and voltage source direction you should observe. And this series resistor, it becomes parallel resistor, that is also important. So all the current source in parallel can be added and they all are in the same direction. So I1 plus I2 plus I3 can be replaced with I, one single I. Okay. And all this Z1 plus Z2, Z3 in parallel, you can write it as 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. So all that is replaced by 1Z. Okay. All this complete network is replaced by one current source with parallel impedance and the load ZL. So I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3 and 1 by Z is equal to 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. So this is the formula. So this voltage source, okay, this voltage source, now this whatever we got, this voltage current source is converted to voltage source with series resistor. Okay, so it is converted E. Okay, it is nearly equivalent to E with series impedance Z, okay, across ZL. So how that they will do? E is nothing but I into Z. I is what? I is the sum of the currents. I1 plus I2 plus I3 divided by Z is 1 by Z. So I1, what we can write? I1 is nothing but E1 by Z1. Current is equal to voltage by impedance plus E2 by Z2 plus E3 by Z3. 1 by Z is nothing but 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. Okay, this is been written here. It is written in this way. And 1 by Z1 is impedance. We can write in terms of admittance also. The same formulas are repeated once again. So the three voltage sources can be replaced by a single voltage source whose voltage is given by equation 3.9. So this is the formula for the voltage E1 Y1, E2 Y2, E3 Y3 and whose internal impedance or admittance is given by the equation 1 by Z here or Y is equal to. These are the three equations that will be used to solve the problems. So this is what Millman's theorem tells. So when Millman's theorem deals with voltage sources, many voltage sources connected in parallel. So when there are many voltage sources with their internal impedances connected in parallel, we can go with the formula which will reduce that voltage source into a single voltage source. Many voltage sources will be reduced to a single voltage source and the formula is E1 by Z1 plus E2 by Z2 plus E3 by Z3 whole divided by 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. This is the formula that will be used to solve the problems. The proof is it is converted. Okay, all the voltage sources are converted to current source with parallel resistor and many current sources are put into single current source and that is converted again to a voltage source. A source transformation is done in Millman's theorem. So we'll see one example today. Find the output voltage E0 of the circuit using Millman's theorem. Okay, this is the network they have given. You have to find the output voltage E0. There are many voltage sources here, nearly 3 there are, like 48 volts, 60 volts and 20 volts with their internal impedances 12 kilo ohm, 6 kilo ohm and 4 kilo ohm. You have to find out voltage E0, that is voltage across 2 kilo ohm you have to find out. Okay, this voltage we have to find out. So many voltage sources in parallel. So what is the formula? Formula is E is equal to E1 Y1, or you can write E1 by Z1 also. Y1 is nothing but by 1 by Z1. Okay. So E1 Y1 plus E2 Y2 E3 Y3 divided by Y1 plus Y2 plus Y3 is the formula. So how much is E1? So take this as E1. It is 48 volts. 48 divided by, they have given what? They have given resistance here. Resistance or impedance. So you take it as 12 into 10 power 3. 12 into 10 power 3. See Y1, or it can be written as 1 by Z1. Okay. This one is solved in textbook. I'll show you in notes. You'll understand it better. So this is the formula. Same problem here. Find the equivalent circuit where E0 using Millman's theorem. What we have written here, E1 by Z1, E2 by Z2, E3 by Z3 divided by 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. So just to substitute, what is E1? E1 is 48. Just write 48. What is Z1? Z1 is 12 into 10 power 3. Next we have 60. 60 divided by 6 into 10 power 3. Fine. See both these both are of same their polarity you should see. This is positive negative, this is positive negative. This polarity is different again. It is negative positive. So you have to write minus. Okay. If you write for this both minus, you have to write this plus. Any one thing should be followed. Fine. Here I have written plus 48 and plus 60. So this will be written as minus 20. Minus 20 divided by 4 into 10 power 3. Whole divided by 1 by Z1. 1 by Z1 means what? 12 into 10 power 3. Plus 1 by Z2. 1 divided by 6 into 10 power 3. Just substitute the values of Z1, Z2, Z3 and V1, E1, E2, E3. Okay. Then solve it. You will get E as 18 volts. Okay. E is 18 volts. So all the voltage sources in parallel is replaced by a single voltage source. So this is the single voltage source, that is 18 volts. It is replaced. Fine. Next we have to find out the series resistance for this. That is 1 by Z is equal to 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. Just find out, you will get 1 by Z first you will get, you have to take reciprocal of it. So you will get Z is equal to 2 kilo ohm. Okay, that you have to write here. Z is equal to 2 kilo ohm. So it is converted to a single voltage source 18 volts with a series resistor 2 kilo ohm. And this is nothing but load. Okay, they have given this. This is nothing but load. So what we have to find out? We have to find out the voltage across this. So what is the voltage across this? Just we have to know the current. So current into this resistance will give us the voltage. So what will be the current? Current is nothing but voltage divided by resistance. How much is the voltage? It is 18 volts. 18 divided by resistance is how much? 2 plus 2 is 4 because they are in series. So 4 into 10 power 3 will get current as 4.5 milliamps. So voltage E0 is equal to I into R. I is how much? 4.5 milliamps into R is 2 kilo. We want the voltage across E0. So it is 2 kilo. We'll get E0 is nothing but 9 volts. Okay, it is they have told you to find out the voltage across 2 kilo ohms, so it is converted in we got the answer as 9 volts. Here important is so many voltage sources are converted to a single voltage source. Okay, that network is written here, that is 18 volts, and we have to write its impedance. How will find out impedance? 1 by Z is equal to 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. Just write their impedances. Okay, substitute and you will get the answer as 2 kilo ohm. This is important. By using Millman's theorem, we have converted many voltage sources into a single voltage source. Okay, here it is in the textbook, that is, this is how it is solved. It is converted to a single voltage source 18 volts with internal impedance 2 kilo ohm, and this is the series resistor. Okay, this is where you have to find out the answer. So it is 18 volts and the last answer is 9 volts. Okay, that is taken from, you can take from the textbook also, or I have done in the notes also, the same one example. So some 2-3 examples still they have that will continue in tomorrow's class. Thank you.